Hi, I'm Bill Snow. I'm the Chief Development Officer at Open Networking Foundation, and today it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Shinji Yonesaka of NTT West, who is a research engineer in the R&D department and who is responsible for the management of research development strategy. He'll be speaking today about how NTT West is transforming their 5G network using open source. Please, go ahead, Shinji.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Hello, everyone. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening. I'm not sure what time are you watching this on-demand presentation, but I really appreciate to give me a chance to speak here today. I'm Shinji Yonesaka from NTT West as a network engineer. Today, I want to talk about network operators' future vision and new use cases and test plans. I want to share and report our current situation and activities. This is today's agenda. I want to talk from our company and current situation, and then break down into our activities. Let's move on to our contents. This is NTT Group organization, which is divided in the business areas. I'm belonging in the NTT West, and NTT East and West are responsible for regional communication businesses. In FTTH market of Japan, East and West have the largest market share. This is a big advantage in this market. In other hand, however, the FTTH market is matured in Japan. The FTTH coverage is one of the highest countries in the world. So revenue growth cannot be expected from simple FTTH connectivity service only. We are in the stage of transforming our business model. So considering the recent market and company change, our company launched new company vision of being. That is the social ICT pioneer. This is slogan. This word is coined by our CEO. Entity. This words mean the NTT West Group contribute to the development of the society with ICT as a pioneer. We should act like vitamin for the regional societies. There are various issues in our surrounding societies. We have to focus on not only the internet connectivity, but social issues which people or world facing. Based on these kind of things, we want to provide ICT solution and contribute to societies. Our company have large ICT experience and knowledge as a network operator. So we believe that this can help solving the issues. We are becoming a company that directly contribute to the development of the society. According to the transformation, we are in the stage of the changing the architecture and role of the network. The point are collaborativeness and flexibility. The figure shows the image of this vision. In order to accelerate collaboration with partners, the service platform creates new values based on the various applications and the user's needs through the application activities. In order to realize this kind of flexibility, this aggregation is very important. And as well, open source is very necessary. From point of ICT infrastructure, we already have many data center and telecom exchange building. We want to utilize such kind of our asset. And operating with public cloud is important as well. Cooperation with such kind of cloud expand value of our network. From point of this, we should control and manage transformed network. Recently, our company are actively working for the CI/CD architecture or automation models. So we are in the setting up this kind of network, and this kind of network should be open and partner can be used easily for their trial. In such situation, ONF began to provide Ether as a mobile open source based mobile architecture. This is very suitable for our architecture. So we are working on the evaluation at an early stage. We have already set up our Ether in our laboratory in Japan. Ether is very easy to set up. It provides not only standalone software, but service platform. Ether is a platform that is successfully realize our point I mentioned in the previous slide. That's why we are interested in the Ether platform. Right figure shows the current architecture of our edge. This architecture is the most simple one, so I believe it should be updated soon. But we already started to test with this architecture as a first step. So Ether is mobile platform, right? So our company want to use Ether for the local 5G service. As a first, why is NTT West focusing on the local 5G? Even though NTT Group has an NTT Docomo as a mobile operator, because we believe local 5G role is different from the public 5G role. Especially, regulation is one of the big difference. NTT Docomo is allowed as a public mobile operator in Japan, and NTT West and East is not. However, in local 5G aspect, NTT West and East is allowed. Local 5G band is allocated in different wireless band from public 5G. So it's like CBRS band in US. So regulation is different. We need to both 5G differently depending on the use cases. In addition, we are aware of the many 5G demand and needs from the partner companies, not public 5G needs. That because these companies want to use 5G network as their own private network. So reason comes from the security or throughput point of view. From these kind of reasons, we are really focusing on the local 5G services. We place great importance on the building partnership with other companies. This partnership model shows just one example, but we really need to work together to considering how to produce the better service from each point of view. We'd like to introduce the one use case in the right side of slide. We made agreement with Yamaguchi Prefecture, that is one of the local government, and with Hibiki company, that is one of the partner company. Unfortunately, Ether is not being used in this case, but to realize the smart factory model, local 5G network will be applied for the high definition camera streaming or unwired in factory use case. Uh, we aim to expand the kind of knowledge and experience to the other market, smart healthcare or smart energy and agriculture or some stuff like that. These models are very important, and that kind of trial is very interesting for us. So currently, our Ether is built with a simple configuration. So the full-scale test will be becoming the next step. So these points are items that we'd like to evaluate in that stage. Recently, there are several 5G core software packages in the market, so we need to evaluate them in the same point. As Ether does not currently support 5G, right? But we are starting from basic functional tests right now, but we mainly focus on the test with the 5G network. So we are very much looking forward to the upgrade to the 5G compatible network. Other 5G core software is also becoming 5G or 5G NSA or compliant. So it is also important to support and verify that kind of things in the Ether platform. In my opinion, the next half year is very important stage in the setting the standard of this kind of market. Therefore, we continue to evaluate the technical aspect in the following this market trend. Through the deployment of Ether, I'd like to suggest some point of view in the evaluating architecture like that. I believe that this architecture, these are challenges for Ether and also topics we contribute to. The first is the application sharing. These are important for the it's important for the expanding use cases and speedy experiment. Currently, I believe that 5G use cases will start from similar use cases. So the similar use cases need similar application software. So in order to quick deployment for the use cases, the kind of software should be shared. Even if in the new use cases, combination of the kind of software could be helpful. By providing such model openly, we will able to respond to the user needs very quickly. That is very important thing, I think. The third, secondly, the flexible edge. The part of this part should be programmable using P4 or stuff like technologies. And packet control function like local breakout and QoS control is necessary as well. And multi-access control function is necessary from the operator's point of view. The third is the operational perspective. In today's software-driven market, the update is pretty frequent, so it's becoming difficult to maintain with the traditional operating method. So from operator point of view, we need to consider and discuss effective CI/CD model or CI/CD model or automation model. I want to evaluate with Ether platform. And final point is the cost reduction, especially in the 5G architecture. The cost reduction of the cell site is very urgent need. So we have to, currently we very interested in the ONS SD-RAN project as well. So it is not enough for the operator alone to achieve this kind of vision. Operator need to take a lead in the committee with collaborating with software and hardware vendors. I believe these key points help us to move to the next step. To conclude my presentation, I'd like to sum up. Operator's network is in the time of transformation. Installation of the 5G network is a great opportunity for it. Ether is a promising mobile platform, I think. And we are testing our architecture with Ether Edge in our laboratory. Through the test, we will evaluate the key points and contribute to the improvement and communities. We believe to realize the network vision by collaborating with the partner companies. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.
That's great, Shinji. Thank you very much. And I guess first off, I want to say I really appreciate NTT doing the presentation, and NTT has been a fantastic partner with ONF since the very beginning, and I appreciate you working with us on Ether. As you know, Ether is being built and deployed today as a managed service for enterprises. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if NTT sees a business need or opportunity for enterprises to deploy a managed edge service. And if so, then I'm wondering if NTT would be providing that type of service to enterprises, or would they probably partner with someone?
I think it depends on the use cases, but answer is mainly yes. In my opinion, NTT mainly provide the services. Maybe NTT would be the service provider in almost all use cases.
Okay, all right, good. I think there's a number of different models that are possible, and it'll be interesting, I think, to see how those models evolve as we have more and more edge deployments in enterprises. So the second question is, of course, Rakuten has received a lot of press in the last few months about building a fully virtualized mobile network in Japan. And of course, they have the luxury because they don't have an existing network, right? So they can kind of start fresh with new technology. And I know that NTT is pushing to virtualize their network. And I was wondering if you could tell us just a little bit more about the direction and plans you have for virtualization of the NTT network.
Yeah, of course. We have already various kinds of activities of that as well. But on the other hand, NTT is operating a huge traditional network currently. So therefore, it's difficult to change the network drastically all at once. So we need to produce the successful use cases, and these use cases accelerate the virtualization of our network or disaggregation or some stuff like that. I believe that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a business decision, right? When it's appropriate, then you drive virtualization for a particular business model.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So thanks for sharing a use case. And I noticed that Ether isn't yet in that use case. However, the uses that you mentioned of smart manufacturing, smart healthcare, smart agriculture, I believe that those are going to be similar use cases that Ether can address. But I'm curious if you feel the same way from what you know so far about Ether, and if you could comment on where you see Ether might be a good fit for use cases.
Yeah, yeah. The, the use case which many users are connected is suitable for the Ether platform, I think. This is because such kind of use case, in such kind of use cases, Ether can optimize the network with using ONOS or ONOS component or stuff like that. I believe that is one of the Ether strength point, advantages point. So such kind of use case is suitable for the Ether. And as I mentioned, the local 5G is, in the local 5G, the next half year is a very important timeline. So Ether have to follow the trend of the 5G deployment, I think. So if it's possible, we can use the Ether for the 5G use cases. And in addition, the Ether is suitable for the cases where we want to build a network without much time or without spending much time or spending much money. It's because the Ether is a cloud-based and open source based, so it's very quick and speedy deployment could be realized. So this kind of use cases is suitable for the Ether. So I believe some use cases could be used in the Ether, and I want to try to use as well.
Okay, great. Well, though, that's all the questions I have. And again, I appreciate you giving this presentation today, and I look forward to continuing to work with you as we have been in the past with NTT as a partner, and especially on some of these Ether use cases. So thanks much.
And thank you very much for your support. And I really appreciate the chance to presenting here. Thank you for listening, and thank you. Nice to talking with you.